Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? How are you? How's your week going? Are you having a rough one? Well, it's okay. It's almost over. It's Thursday, you know? Don't you hate your boss a little less on Thursday? He comes in, hey, go over there and do what I say. And you're like, oh, chubby cheeks. You know, you love to say that to him. Just grab his muffin top. Oh, he wants me to do something. Can you technically get fired for that? All you have to do is just when you're going in for the disciplinary meeting, you just stay in the pocket. Just be like, I have no problem doing what this man says, but I can't fight the fact that, I think he's adorable. I mean, look at him. Don't you want to go up there and give him a little, Well, we'll put on a tie today, That's a fucking great way to get your ass fired. I don't know if everybody does it, though. There's strength in numbers. Is this like a Sally Field movie? Should I be fucking standing up holding a sign? Union, right? So brave. It was so brave what she did in the mine. Is there any word more overused in the entertainment, specifically the movie acting business, than brave? Jesus fucking Christ. Has any actor ever looked up that fucking word? The way you went out there with that bandana, it was such a brave performance. Oh, Jesus Christ. Just when you go over to craft service and get yourself something that has yogurt in it, you're fucking stupid. Courageous, brave, important. This was a story that needed to be told. Oh my God, those fucking award shows. And it never dawns on them the irony that everything we're wearing, including with the sweatpants and t-shirt I have on right now, is all made in a sweatshop by some crying child at fucking 3 in the morning in whatever, Honduras or some shit, right? And they're all up there acting like they give a fuck about people. It's like, you don't. You want to go in there. You want fucking Ruth Buzzy or whatever her fucking name is to say what you're wearing looks good, And then you want to win the shiny thing. And you want to cry and thank your mother and pretend you're down to earth. And go back to your fucking infinity pool. That's what you really want to do, right? Do a little fucking, have Jack Nicholson come over, do some blow off your titties, If you're a guy, who knows what you want to do out here? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just having one of those scatterbrained days, and I went to bed early last night, as I always do. Whenever I go on tour with Burzy and Bartnick, I think all of us, for the next 3 days, have to, dry out and try to get about 14 hours sleep. So, yeah, I'm off the booze. I'm off the cigars. The usual fucking thing. I'm all over the goddamn place. And, oh, fuck. You know what somebody told me yesterday? Here's a new thing. All right? How fucking, in this fucking world that just keeps getting more and more creepy. That whole Big Brother thing, the blah, 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 blah. And then people are saying, well, Big Brother, it turns out it's actually us. And it is. It is, because we just keep going along with this shit. Listen, Bill, just tell the fucking story before you go on your stupid little rant here. All right. So a buddy of mine tells me the other day, right, that a friend of his came over to do some work on his house because if you own a house, you're constantly trying to fix it so it doesn't fall down. That's what they don't tell you, when they show the commercial on the real estate commercials, A white picket fence, golden retriever. Your wife has 6 kids and she's still hot, right? Isn't that how the song goes? Anyways, they're all running around their ridiculously green front yard playing frisbee. The dog's not trying to eat anybody. The wife's laughing. The kids are all good looking, right? Everything's fine, right? Nobody has a lisp. Nobody has, fucking jealousy issues, Guy doesn't have dad bod. They're just basically crushing it. And you just look at it and you're like, you know what? If I buy a house, I know I'm not going to look like that, but is that the mood I'm going to be in? It's like a drug, right? So anyways, he fucking, he fucking has this guy, his buddy, come over, do some work. So he goes to pay him, and as all good guys do, you don't need to pay me. You don't need to pay me. And he's like, no, come on, I want to pay you. Nah, I'm telling you, I'm not going to accept it. Just take the fucking money, right? They had to do a sketch like that with two polite friends, and it ends up in a knife fight. And one person finally kills the guy and then fucking stuffs the money in his mouth. Should they do a sketch like that? I think they should. Anyway, so he goes, so finally the guy goes, you don't have to pay me, just get me a case of beer. The guy goes, fine. So the closest place that had a little bit of liquor was CVS. So he goes down to CVS. He buys the fucking case of beer, and the lady behind the counter goes, do you have an ID? And he's looking at her like, bitch, I'm 50. And he goes, do you really think you don't think I'm of age? She goes, no, I need to swipe your license. And he goes, for what? She goes, basically for health insurance purposes. They record, if you drink or not. And if you drink, your premium goes up because you're a drinker. Now, what the fuck does CVS give a shit about ratting everybody out who's a fucking booze face out there, right? Because you know what it is? The money that they're going to fucking be able to knock up, on your premium to pump it up, CVS gets a little kickback. That's how it fucking works. It's like when I drive you to fucking Amazon.com, right? If you go through my website, they give me a little, hey, thanks for sending some business our way. Break you off a couple of honeys, right? But I'm not costing you any more money. I'm the hero with this. I don't cost you any more money, whether you go directly to Amazon or if you go through my website. Doesn't make any difference to me. And I'm also not ratting you out. What I'm trying to say here is I am a way better person than CVS. No, I'm fucking with you. Look, we're all trying to make money out here, but that's really, it's fucking ridiculous. I was trying to look at from the insurance company side of it, because goddamn well everybody goes in there and lies. Do you smoke? No. You drink? No. I mean, maybe I'll have a beer, I don't know, on the 4th of July to support the troops. Do you engage in any drug activity? Well, I mean, food's a drug, so technically yes, but I mean that other stuff, no, I wouldn't. Do you have unprotected sex with prostitutes? Listen, I got a phone call. Can I take this? You know the deal. You lie your fucking ass off. You're going to get life insurance. You lie your fucking ass off, right? So on one side, I actually have empathy for insurance companies because I understand that aspect of it, provided they ever fucking paid out any goddamn money remotely like they said they were gonna. You know the deal. You pay for insurance. They say you're covered. You say to them, hey, if this happens, am I going to be covered? Hey, if I got the old stub the toe insurance. So if I wake up in the morning, I stub my toe, okay? I'm a man. I can take it. But if I break my fucking toe, okay? And, my job is to skip on stage every night. If I have to take a night off, can you kick me, the fucking $25 feature spot money? Can you kick that to me? They're like, absolutely. I go, all right, so if I break my toe, stub my toe in my house, I'm covered. Absolutely, you're covered, right? Then what happens? You stub your toe, you break it, you fucking call them up. They're like, okay, I got to send it through the you're not getting paid quadrant of the fucking insurance company. Then they come back, and what do? They'll give you like fucking $13 instead of the $25 they owed you. Now, I know 13 between 25 doesn't seem like a lot of money, right? But you just ratchet that up there, right? What if they owed you $250 and they only gave you $130? What if they owed you $25,000 and they only gave you fucking $6? That's what the fuck they do. They are in the business of taking your fucking money and buying themselves a yacht and fucking banging Victoria's Secret models in the ass while looking at the next year's model of fucking yachts. That's what they're in the business of. They are not in the business of fucking helping people. They're in the business of taking your money, telling you that you're going to be covered, and then when you go, dude, what the fuck, right? They go, yeah, go fuck yourself because we got more money. Take it or leave it, right? And what should happen is like, when, you remember the Mighty Heroes? When they would send out that little signal and they'd all fucking, Diaper Man and Strong Man, they'd all turn into something? Or was it Batman? I don't fucking remember what. Everybody who's insured by that company should go at those cunts and be like, dude, what the fuck? I thought you said this guy was covered. This is what you're doing to him. You're going to do it to all of us, right? I'm going back to the Sally Field thing. You know what the problem is nobody likes their neighbor. You know, you look across at him, you look at the car he's driving, you look at his wife. You either don't understand what he bought or you want it. There's never a middle ground. Like, yeah, you know, I'm pretty much on par with this guy, and my ego can handle living across from him. You're either going to resent him or not understand him. So then when he gets fucked out of money, he's telling you the story, you're sitting there nodding your head, acting like you don't like it, but you hate to admit it. There's a part of your soul that's getting filled up, isn't it? Admit it. You don't have to admit this. Right? If it really came down to it, don't you want a house as big as your house and your neighbors? Wouldn't it be great if they just weren't there anymore? And somehow there wasn't any like forensics and they could figure out that you hastened his demise and took over his house? Just added a fucking hallway between your house and his, right? And the whole other house is yours, right? So when your wife and kids are driving you nuts, you just say, listen, Daddy's going over to his other life. I'll be back when I can deal with you. And everybody just looks at you like that family in that real estate commercial, just smiling and waving, being like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Right? And you go in there, right? It's anything you want. You got booze. You got cigars. You know? You got a masseuse / a fucking whore. You ought to have the timeout room for a married guy, you know? And I know what you ladies are thinking. Well, why don't they have a timeout room for women? And you know what I say? Well, why don't you come up with it? The world doesn't owe you a round of drinks, okay? Now, goddamn it, you got that multitasking brain. Why don't you sit down with a couple other broads? What would be in your room? You know, a bunch of shit that makes you live longer. See, if you notice with the guy, everything I said would slowly fucking kill me. Booze, the cigars, the whores, all of it. It just eats away at your soul and your fucking liver, right? Women would go in there. One of the first things they'd probably want is like the most beautiful fucking tub they ever could find, so they could take a nice fucking bath, you know, with their crazy little fucking soaps, right? Have a whole spa day. And they'd have a friend that they could sit down and get all of that resentment out of their heart with someone who can actually listen to it. They download all of that shit. They just totally clean up their soul before they go into the next room and get fucking banged by Brad Pitt, you know, or whoever the fucking Jake Gyllenhaal guy is nowadays. Who is it? Is it Justin Bieber? Hasn't he become a man yet? He's in his 20s, right? He's riding the wave out of teen idoldom, slowly becoming a man, right? As long as he doesn't remake Blue Lagoon, I think that kid's going to be all right. Anyways, well, Jesus Christ, there's 12 minutes of your life you'll never get back, huh? You know what today is about, everybody? Today's not about you. Today's not about me. Today's not even about America. You know what today is about? Today is about the Boston Bruins versus the Detroit Red Wings. That's what it's all about. Okay? It's funny that they play all these fucking games and it can come down to one goddamn game. For those of you who don't watch hockey, all right, which is kind of me, I just pay attention to it because you fucking cunt. Can my password ever work the first fucking time? You know, they're always like, you know, that's not secure enough. Well, it's like it's so fucking secure I can't do it on one time while I'm still in a fucking podcast. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyways, they play all these goddamn games. Let me get back into the nice soothing tone that I had earlier. They play all these fucking games. 80 goddamn games, whatever the hell it is. And you would think that, you know, by now everything would be all sorted out. Right? Let's go to the playoff picture. The playoff picture. Here we go. I didn't need a picture. I need a how about a playoff bracket? I can't read that shit. Bracket challenge. The fucking standings. That's how old I am. I feel like if I just yell at a website, it will do what I want. All right. So the fucking Red Wings have 93 points. Oh, they got 93? That's right, because they beat the fucking filthy Flyers. Oh, the Flyers needed that one. The Flyers needed that one. For some reason, I root for the Philadelphia Flyers. I like them. You know what I mean? I know that they've been dirty and fought and all that shit, but you can't tell me it wasn't entertaining. You know? Ron Hextall coming flying out of the net because he's pissed that he lost the Stanley Cup Finals. I've always enjoyed that shit. I don't like their fans, but I really like their team. But, Philly fans work at you making you not like them. So they did the job with me. I don't like them. So anyways, Detroit beat them. So as of right now, Detroit has 93 points. Philadelphia has 91. The Bruins have 91. But for whatever fucking reason, I guess head-to-head, maybe we have a game at hand. I don't know what. We're still under the fucking bar line. So basically tonight, the Red Wings, I think, could solidify, unless they have two more games. Look, Detroit wins tonight. They're either in or they have totally fucking, they'd have to basically put me in net to not make the playoffs. But if the Bruins win, we will go up 2 points on the Philadelphia Flyers. And this is the biggest fucking game. They're all big games this week, but this is this is a big one this week. And I know the Red Wings haven't been the greatest in the past few years, but they got enough guys left. Oh, and by the way, I want to say a shout out to that fucking Twitter cunt that fucking laughed at me when I said, Carolina fucking, I feel like they always get the best of us. And he was saying, like, oh, well, the Bruins are 6-0-2 the last fucking time. Well, you know something? I never forgot that Game 7 in 2009 when they came back and they fucking beat us. And just every time there's a big game like that, something, they always beat us. And what happens? We played those cunts, and what happened? What happened? They ended up beating us in a shootout, but we did get 1 point, thank Christ. I think you do, right? Don't you get 1 point? I don't know. Every time I turn it on, they fucking change the rule. Now they're doing 3-on-3 in the overtime, which I like, but, it makes me feel like I blacked out for 5 years. So anyways, we got to win that game tonight. And I was hoping Detroit would look a little more tired than they did last night, but they totally looked like they were on their fucking game. The one thing we got going is it's back-to-back, which usually during the season you'd have a letdown, but there's too much at stake, so I think this is going to be a tough game, and I don't know. My heart says we're going to win, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a tough place, isn't it? All right, let's... Oh, and by the way, the amount of people that hate the fucking Bruins, it's like, for what? We've won 1 cup in 40 years. The fuck is your problem? I love when all fucking teams sit there and they act like, this team's dirty and this team has excuses, but our team's fucking squeaky clean. I see the pieces of shit on my team just the way I see them on your team. I see your fucking coaches screaming and yelling anytime anybody touches your players, and then when your players touch somebody else, they don't give a fuck. Everybody does that. It's called being an immature cunt. Welcome to the party. Have a seat. Can I get you a drink? All right, score big, everybody. A little bit of advertisement. You're paying too much for tickets. Between all the markups and last-minute convenience charges, even printed home fees, they really charge you to print tickets at home? Fucking unbelievable. All those types of charges, I'm telling you, that just ends up, it's just somebody standing in a foyer of a house he can't afford, just raining money down on prostitutes. You ever watch American Greed? That's that. It gradually all adds up to that. All right, you end up paying courtside prices for nosebleed seats. ScoreBig.com is here to change that. Did you know that 40% of all live tickets go unsold? Did you know that? And did you know that there's a place to get seats at huge savings? It's called ScoreBig.com. ScoreBig works directly with your favorite teams and artists to get their unsold seats at unpublished prices. Only at ScoreBig.com can you name a ticket price and be guaranteed to pay below box office up to 60% off. Here's all you got to do. Number one, uno. Go to ScoreBig.com and find the event and seats you want. 2, dos. Duh. Like this little bilingual shit for you here, huh? Make an offer with ScoreBig's name, a ticket price feature. 3. Oh, jeez. Trois, and what is it? Uno, dos, tres. Get an instant answer and save up to 60% on your tickets. I realize I've never seen a French referee count somebody out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fini. No surprise fees and free shipping. Wait, did I say get an instant answer and save up to 60%?
4, 3, 2, 1.
The first man to smoke marijuana never really smoked it. He inhaled it. He was a Chinese man. He was a very great man. And whenever he lit the plant, it wasn't to get high, but he would start to get high. And every time he got high, a blue bird would come to him and tell him to conquer his neighboring neighborhoods. And he listened to those, to the bird, and that's exactly what he did. And he became a great emperor in China. And at that point in the story, Pablo Escobar looks at his doctor and he goes, "Have you ever been to Disneyland?" And the doctor goes, "No, Pablo, I haven't." He goes, "Very clean, very organized."
Whoa.
That's it. But it's the truth. First guy that ever got high was a Chinese dude that burnt the plant because he liked the smell of the plant. It gave him a soothing, but after days of doing it, it packed up in his body and he started hallucinating. He saw a bluebird. A bluebird came to him and told him that he had to conquer the neighborhoods within the region.
What a crazy bird. He got high and a bird started talking to him.
What are you going to do?
You know, I don't know if this is true, but this is one of the things that the pot aficionados always used to say, is that, you know, when a priest walks down the aisle and they have that thing that they swing and there's burning incense inside of it, that used to be weed. That's what they used to do.
When? In what dimension?
I don't know.
At one point, I believe it was weed. Then it became that shit that Batman shot at the Green Hornet. It was like pedophile smoke. You wake up, your shirt's bound backwards and shit. Your pants are missing.
Well, what is it now? What kind of incense is it now?
It's like
is
this
it
blue
sage?
smoke. I go in there to church every once in a while.
Yeah.
But you have to go for the full effect one, like the 5 in the afternoon on Saturday and the early morning Sunday. They don't break out the incense. They don't start breaking out the fucking Malukia fucking Salam Malankedo. And the guy comes out, and one guy comes out throwing water.
Jesus.
And then the other guy. It's so weird how somebody made a great point on Twitter the other day. They said, you, me, Mitch Hedberg, there's 5 of us that delivered newspapers. There's 5 comedians that delivered newspapers. You...
Hedberg did it?
Yeah, you delivered them in a car to other places. I was an asshole that took a route, not the route in my neighborhood, the route in the neighborhood over, so I had to beat the kids there before they get there and steal the papers.
I would deliver them right to the door.
And, oh, you did too?
Yeah.
And then you collected?
Yeah, I collected from only a handful of people. Most people were on like a monthly subscription plan. They were switching over, but the people that you'd have to collect from, you had like this envelope, like a tan envelope. And you had to like mark off like, you know, when they owed. I barely remember it because it was only a couple of the clients. And after a while, I kind of got away from doing them. I said, I don't want to do these people that have, because it's too hard to collect. It's annoying. Like I don't want to have to go to
that
people's houses.
That was my specialty.
I didn't like it.
I must have been. That was when I first got out of Catholic school, and my mom gave me an option that I had to go up there and work in the afternoons. And I'm like, I got to figure something out. I just don't want to go up there anymore. And my friend said, I'm giving up my newspaper out. But he didn't give up the one in my neighborhood. He gave up the one in the next city over, the next town over, that city. I could still walk through there. So I'd have to leave school and run over there because I'm not the dude that steal my papers and sell them as their own, the fucking street corners. So I'd have to get them, put the circulars in, put them in the thing, and then throw them on people's balconies on Fridays and Saturdays. I have to go back with a ring after dinner and collect. How you doing, Mr. Rogan? You get to pick up 75 cents and they give you like $1.50. That was your tip.
Right.
And you got like 22 cents a week for delivering the paper.
Did you collect from everybody?
I collected from everybody. It was this sufficient.
What years was it? Were these?
This has to be 73, 74, 75.
Yeah, so I guess when I started doing it was when I started driving, which had been like 83. I probably started 83. I probably started when I was 17. No, that was 85. 85. Probably then. That's when I probably started doing it.
Yeah, you're too old to be collecting. I wouldn't pay you either.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just annoying. Like, what you wanted to do was go to the depot, pick up the papers, chuck them into the people's driveways, and that's it. And then there was a few people that wanted it inside the door. So you'd have to get out of your car, open up their screen door, put it in there, and then leave. And the idea was that those people, everybody would say, those people will tip you better. They'll tip you better. And we're like, okay. And so we would only have like a few of those. And I think after the first couple of years, they stopped doing those kind of collections. Or I definitely stopped doing them. But it was an awesome job. When you're like a young comic, or, you know, even before I was a comic when I was fighting, it was just, I didn't have to do anything where someone was telling me what to do. I could get in my car. I could listen to whatever I wanted to. I listened to Charles Laquadera. He had the Big Mattress on, I think it was BCN. I'm pretty sure it was WBCN in Boston. This is an awesome radio show. I'd listen to that. Chuck newspapers out windows. I do that for like 3 hours every day. You know, it was the best job ever, because then I would make enough money where I could pay my bills, but I still had all the time in the world to do stand-up. All the time in the world to train, all the time in the world to do anything. But it definitely fucked me up, because you're not supposed to be getting up that early every day. Like, that can't be good for you. You know, if you listen to people that know things about sleep, like getting up at 4:30 in the morning or 5 in the morning every day and not being responsible.
That was the beginning. To me, that was the beginning of the new Joe Rogan era of podcasts. That was the first podcast I listened to that I agreed with a lot, but I also had a couple mitigating factors because I believe that everybody's body's a lot different. I know I could rock and roll. I could throw down on 7 straight, but it's got to be 7 straight. No, get up to P 2 times, because once you're 50, you could be up and down. See, once you turn 50, 48, everything changes, Papa. So if you see your head at night, and I'm drinking kombucha with water, that has to come out throughout the night. And you will be up all fucking night on the hour, every hour. There's no REM sleep.
Yeah.
There's no REM sleep. So you have to control. Once you get old, you have to control your thyroid. Dog, I've been a specialist on sleep since day one. That was one of the most interesting podcasts you had on. I bought the book and everything, and he made some great points in there. I wasn't raised on a nap, Joe Rogan. My mom didn't raise me on a nap. Once we came from Cuba, my dad died. There was no nap. I went where she went.
Right.
So my day consisted of 8 to 3 in the morning. She had a manager's room in the back of the bar with a cot. And if I got tired at 1, go back there and take a nap. But I got to stay here till 3. Mama got to work.
Wow.
So my sleep was always horrific. Then when I was like 5 or 6 in school, then I went to normal sleep. I went to Catholic grammar school, normal sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, that was the end of Final Fantasy VII. And now we must go and defeat the very last um, ultimate boss, ultimate weapon. Those sons of bitches are going down. I think I've already defeated Emerald, Ultimate, Diamond. I think the only one I need to do is Ruby. I hate that fucking one though, but I need to level up a little bit before I can go and take him out. Because he does that thing where he sucks one of your people away. He's unbelievable. He's really unbelievable. You know, just white trash at its finest. I hate when he does that shit, man. I hate the fact that I gotta sit here and run through all these credits. Unbelievable, man. I get no respect, man. I get no respect. I usually play Final Fantasy VII a few times throughout the month. I'll probably start it all over again, maybe even tonight after I get done finishing the Ultimate Weapon. I'm not really sure, but I like to play it because I get a lot of people to come and watch me. A lot of people like that old shit, you know. And who is my one or two viewers that are watching me right now? How y'all doing? You guys are just tuning in, man. We just beat it. I never understood the ending though. This like, what was it supposed to be? Does he ever come back on any of the Final Fantasies after seven? Like, I feel like this was like a clue that there was gonna be like a sequel for once to a Final Fantasy, but I don't know. Honestly, like I thought there might have been a story about him later on or something. It's crazy. Look at those graphics. Terrible. And that is the end of that game. garbage, man. How it makes me start way back here after I just leveled all the way up. I'm not powerful enough to defeat Ruby yet. He always fucking... What's that bullshit? Fuck is he at? We can try to go beat him again. Oh, there he is. Little fucker. What? What the hell happened right there? Huh? Fuck. What the fuck? Alright, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But that's it for